Now, the question is, do we have sound? We got 1 minute to go. Starting off having to add string. That's going to be a thing. Bots is running. Yes. And Charity's here. And Regina. Awesome. Yeah. All right, let's do this. Whoops. Switch once. And go. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL. And we're back with another live stream. Hey, Charity. Um, we have, has it really been a week? It just feels like, I was just here doing this. So yeah, this is crazy. Hang on, let me hit the button here. That one. Okay. So we're still doing the big project. It has been coming along pretty good overall, I have to say. Um, I took some pictures here today, which I have to admit, the one thing that's kind of getting to me is to take this thing off of the board and then put it back on. It's getting harder and harder as this thing gets bigger and bigger. So, um, I can kind of show you like, okay, this is what it looked like a couple weeks ago. And then there's last week, and then this is from today. There's another better shot. So kind of more than 2/3, I'm guessing, across. So it's really, really coming along. Um, oh, and before we get too far, I want to remind everybody we still have the secret word game. I can't believe that nobody has managed to get this word yet. I've given the hint that it has something to do with one of my, previous videos, but that doesn't seem to have helped anybody. So yeah, there's still that going on. So much going on. So much to talk about. Um, yeah, and definitely try to get the winning of that in today because there won't be a live one next week. Um, you guys may have heard that I had a birthday and an anniversary just recently, and we're still doing in celebration mode. So I will be gone next weekend. So that's, you know, kind of a bummer. So I won't be here, what, on the 12th, but I'll be back on the 19th. So, and if nobody wins tonight, then I guess we have to try again on the 19th. So here I'm going to add string again. This white one is really short. I'm bringing this off to the right hand side because the blue is going to continue going to the left. That's going to leave both whites on the right hand side. And to make it extra special, look at this. The next one is the yellow, and it too is extraordinarily short. So I'm going to loop over that one. I grabbed some strings before we started the stream here, so I wouldn't have to get up. I did a bicycle ride here earlier today. I did 56 kilometers, so I'm a little bit not wanting to get out of my chair, if you can imagine. All right, so now both strings basically put on the same way. Don't want to pull this too much because it'll ruin the blue. So if I go ahead and tie the blue up like that, right, finish out that row, it'll be a little easier because I don't know if you can see that. There's just a little touch of yellow and a little touch of white at the top of each of these. You can't see it. Let me just see, there's just a little bit of white up there and a little bit of the yellow. So now that I've tied the blue again, I can give this a little tug and see how that just kind of disappears, and then do that with the white. And that's how we make adding string absolutely disappear. Yeah, you did. I saw that, Charity. Thank you. You're one of the few people who comes here and also follows me on Facebook. So yes, you have that advantage. I guess that's another thing. I guess you guys can add me if you want to on Facebook. Um, I'm a pretty decent guy. I guess I don't share too much craziness. I do talk a lot about coffee and ADHD though. Coffee because I really enjoy the beverage, and ADHD because I kind of feel like, oh, I was going to add a white there and I just blew right over it. Because I kind of feel like there's a stigma. My parents did not want to have me diagnosed and treated for ADHD because there was this whole stigma about, giving kids meds and these kind of things. And so I went most of my life without being treated. And now that I am treated for it, oh my gosh, it is so much easier to concentrate and do things. So I kind of want to get the word out there. Like if you know somebody who needs treatment or whatever, tell them that, there's benefits to be had. It really does help. So that's just my view. All right. This one, this time the white goes to the left as the blue is going to the right. Yeah, so this adding string thing is a little hit or miss in this segment of the overall project, but I suspect when we get to the next row, there's going to be a lot more of it. There has just been so many of the strings that are just like right down to like 10 inches or so, which is it's a pretty decent sized string, but it it doesn't last very long when it comes to this project. So it is what it is. Um, by the way, I did cut more string here recently, so if you're keeping score at home, we are now up to 685 skeins cut so far. So um, I know that just seems like an exorbitant amount. I get it. That it's crazy even when I think about it. I've done bags where, you know, there was a lot of string used. Well, like the bucket bag, the one that this one eventually will be given away over on Patreon. That bag was, I want to say 600 strings, and we added, I don't know how many times over, at least 2, 3 times, I think. Um, but yeah, still not nearly the amount of string that this has gone through. This is amazing. So how have you been, Charity? Is Regina still with us? I know she commented waiting before the thing started. I don't know if she actually is here for this thing yet. And that's weird. I wonder where Rainbow Haze is. Normally she's here. So you can see I'm going over the doubles here, and I'm trying to pull my knots really nice and tight so that is to hide the fact that there's so much more string underneath. And again, see the whites are doubled up. So again, with the going over and trying to make sure it's in good and tight. Yeah, yeah. I take an antipsychotic as well. Um, I suffer from manic depression, so that's another one of the meds that I take. I don't talk quite as frequently about that one, but yes, if it's if there's a med and doctors think that it'll help you and you see noticeable improvement, then why not? You know, I think that's if it helps you to deal with life in general better, then that's good. And thanks for sharing that. That's nice. That's goes a long way towards where somebody else out there possibly watching this later after, this been available or whatever on YouTube, somebody else might come across that and be inspired. So yeah, thank you. I think I think everybody deserves a chance at trying to be their best that they can be, whether it's through helps of medicine or through, guidance, maybe a counselor, that kind of thing. Whatever it takes, if it's going to help you to live your best life, I think I think nobody should be shamed for that. And you're fortunate, Charity. You're still young, the getting help, having parents that will, willing to help you like that. That's good. That's okay. So I'm dumping off the extras whites now. You can, if you saw that, I was trying to pull at the small one that was going to be left behind in the back of the project. Basically, want to make sure that those don't aren't left where they can be seen. So a little tug and poof, out of the picture. No, it was actually on the 26th, but we're still kind of in celebration mode because my birthday is also my anniversary. And this anniversary was a particularly nice round number of 10 years of being married. So yeah, we're gonna go out this weekend and be gone once again. And I'm looking forward to it. I know we had a little break there before, but have another opportunities. Although I probably as as much as I like to get away from everything, um I do like to leave messages and stuff over on my Patreon account. Everybody over there, I think, knows me just a little bit better, a little bit differently than people on just YouTube or Facebook. So just I just feel like people who are absolutely trying to keep the channel going financially, just they kind of deserve something. So I go out of my way to try to go over there every day, at least every weekday. Um, the lately it's been doing a lot of vlogs, but periodically if I can't get the camera going or I have a problem with because the project here has gotten so big, I was hanging my tablet to be able to do the recordings and because there's so much wraparound, I couldn't get the stand over top of the project. So I've been occasionally doing some typed in updates as opposed to the blogs. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, a decade, right? So amazing. The absolute longest relationship I've ever been in. It doesn't feel like a decade. It honestly, I guess that's when you know things are right. Oh wait, I didn't start the music. Hang on. Why didn't anybody tell me I don't have background music? Okay, so a little background music. Um, yeah, 10 years. Wow, it's amazing. So I don't know if you guys are catching, there's the Winter Olympics are going on in Beijing, and we were just watching a little bit of that before going live. Just amazing, you know. I just, I guess the only sport I would be able to qualify in is bracelet making, and I'm pretty sure I would not get the gold. I know that there's a lot of people out there who are exceptionally quick, and I don't know that I'd necessarily get enough in points for style or whatever to overcome that, but the sea does feel like it could be a winter sport, though. I mean, what better season to want to play around with knots? Can you imagine like the announcers for it? It would be like almost as slow as a golf tournament. Ah, yes, he is now picking up the orange string. Is he going to go with the left? Oh, no. He's gone with a left to a right. Ooh. Forget about it. Well, I don't know about Olympics, but I definitely would like to see a more of a community of bracelet makers coming up with ideas and thoughts and stuff. I think. Yeah, I might not get gold medal, but I could be a good commentator. That's I certainly know the sport well enough. I make an excellent commentator. I suspect it would be a lot of the Russians taking home the gold, so. I do have to say, though, I think this pattern is perhaps one of the more complex things I've ever seen with the bracelets because of the nature of the fact that, I mean, sure, there's only 6 of these things and there's only 6 of the counterparts to them, but doing that many different ones and then offsetting it and stuff really does kind of give this whole project a more complex whatever. Yeah. Again, winter sport, right? If you're stuck indoors because it is, ridiculously cold out, having a little hobby of whatever sorts, yeah, for sure. I have a lot of respect. I've seen some of the stuff that the Russians do. Absolutely amazes me. Yeah. Yeah, that's well, they have such brutal winters. I imagine if you're stuck with the cold, coming up with sports and whatever, yeah, why not? then you have like Norway and Finland and those guys. Those guys have the pretty cold seasons as well. But yeah, I'd like to kind of see some work at helping people to understand that a pattern is just an idea, a segment that you could try. You could that it can change. It doesn't have to be exactly the same colors or the same beginnings, or what you do with it. I think there's a lot of people out there who like, I've seen this question. I swear to God, I've seen the question, does anybody know any patterns that are good with the color green? And I just lose my mind when I see this kind of stuff. It's just like, what? It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I suspect parts of Canada do. I know that Toronto seems to somehow not get hit with the brunt of it, as well as, what's the area just above Washington State? There's that area tends to not get the brunt of it, but other parts of Canada for sure. I guess it all depends on where the jet streams are and that kind of stuff. But I know that, like, Toronto is north of Detroit, but their weather seems to, for some reason, always be a bit warmer than Detroit. So yeah. Hey Charity, welcome back. Yeah, see, that's, any pattern could look good with any string in particular, right? I mean, it's not a, if you're looking, okay, so the gold metallic string, that's kind of a little bit different, because you're looking for a pattern that really highlights one part of the strand, I would imagine, because I wouldn't imagine you'd want to do the whole bracelet full of metallic, because metallic strings, they really rub up against each other in a bad way. It's also not nice on the hands. If you were to try to do a big project with metallic string, you will hate yourself. So now, Amanda, I'm really curious as to what kind of answers did you get? Also, did you make something with the gold string? The metallic stuff? If you're wondering why the long pause, it's because there's a lag between when I ask a question and how long it takes for it to get to you guys. So. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple kinds of strings that are, at a premium that really just don't end up being worth it. Another one is the silky stuff, the polyester. That stuff is absolutely, it doesn't have what it takes to grip in the knot. It just ends up being slippery. So those are kind of difficult. Although, if you really want to have some of that shine to it, you can take a look. I did a bracelet where it kind of looks like Spider-Man colors. There's kind of like a red blue with sort of a dingy gray, where I kind of mixed shades like a grayscale in with the reds and the blues. And you can actually do that with the silky string, where you just pair it with something, either a similar color or opposing, whatever, but you pair it with cotton, and it allows some of the silkiness to be seen and some of the cotton to be seen, but the cotton allows the knot to hold, so that's kind of handy. Yeah, I could picture, like, if I was going to play around with it, I would probably want to showcase it down the center. Kind of wish, like, while doing these videos and stuff, I don't have like complete control of my computer. I can't like just go search up patterns out of my portfolio. But if you can imagine, if you have a bracelet that's just series of diamonds one after another, you could run the gold diamonds down the center and let everything else sort of like aura around it, and that would look kind of cool. You would use the gold a lot, and you'd have to start out with pretty long lengths, but having it run down the middle would definitely give it a real nice bling effect, so that would be kind of fun. Some strings that were replaced before that didn't get tucked around back because I just put this thing back on the clipboard. Need to get them out of the way so I don't accidentally tie them into the knots. Alright, let's take a look here. Nice, not bad. Just making sure before I get too into it that the strings are actually long enough and not going to cause me any trouble. Yeah, something to that sort of effect. Hang on. I have like a ton of bracelets just around in general. This would be a fun pattern. I'm not sure if I can, but there's basically a fluorescent flashlight. So the center X is a fluorescent string, and just kind of, it's a fun little outline to it. I don't know, have a pattern number for this. This has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strings. So there's 2 of the dark, 2 of the middle, and 1 of the bright. So bright would then in your case be the gold. That would be a easy one to do. Let's see. Couple variations on that same theme. If you this version, the X doesn't come out as far, and then this version it does. Just huge on variations. Like this. If you did down the center with your gold and let the other colors go out here, the trick there would be that instead of splitting it in half like this is, to run the whole bracelet out like it. But if you were going to do that, you know that these strings are getting used way more than the strings are that are underneath it. So then the trick is to lay the same colors in that path, so that way you can swap them partway through, and then you don't have to cut the strings so long. Okay, wait, I missed all kinds of stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's kind of okay. Cool. Yeah, chocolate milk definitely sounds good right now. So instead, I'm having something with a little bit of caffeine. Try to keep myself alert. Got a feeling I'm gonna change out that blue. Let me see this one. We'll see. Yeah, I like coming up with ideas for patterns and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. What I like about the one with the X in it is the fact that it would just pop here and there, you know, kind of be the gem of the design. Yeah, I'm going to change out these two blues. So I'm not going to tie them onto the last string, which is the orange. I'm just going to let them hang there for a second, so that way I change them as they come back inwards. So Amanda, if you're going to work with the horrible rough string, because if it's the metallic like I think that you're talking about, it's they're really rough, like to make it kind of sparkle or whatever, there's like a rough texture to it. You might want to look into a yo-yo glove. It's they're kind of interesting. It just kind of covers these two fingers and the thumb and leaves the rest of your hand out, so you can still pick up strings kind of easily. You might, you know, use these fingers a little bit more, but it keeps your hands from getting all blistered and stuff. Also kind of great if, you know, there's a lot of humidity in the room where you're working, if you don't have like an air conditioner or whatever. So that's a thing. Yeah, I do pretty much everything traditional, honestly. So I don't know why. Oh, sorry, she's doing, oh, she's doing something, making me do. By the way, we're gonna the next one. Oh, that's cool. I think I saw the picture for that, right? Did you share that on Facebook? Charity, is that the one that I saw? I follow a lot of bracelet makers, I have to admit. Yeah. If I, again, I'm pretty sure if that's the same stuff. It's kind of rough texture to it. Yeah. Yeah, once upon a time, we were not allowed to turn the air conditioner on during the day because Mandy's parents were really funny about that kind of stuff. Air conditioners for maybe for sleeping, but not because you actually want to do any work. So the house would just get so humid, I would be dying because the strings were like cutting into my skin. And a friend of mine recommended the yo-yo gloves, and yeah, total lifesaver. Yeah, I definitely like the straighter edge on the alphas. It just looks a little better. I think there's something weird about like the how it looks like pipes when you do it the other way. Okay, so now I need 2 blue strings. Right, these oranges are getting short. All right, hang on. Get blue string. Whoa, I almost came really close to bringing a whole pile of string with me. The grippy texture or whatever just started pulling them all. That would not have been good. Did we lose Charity there? Where did she go? I think we lost her. I wonder if it's bad connection or what. Because it says the number of viewers has gone down to 2. Yeah. I actually have some hot chocolate mix in the kitchen. Kind of get me thinking that maybe I would kind of want some of that. That could be maybe my treat after the stream is over. Not that I can afford too many treats. It seems that Chinese New Year's has absolutely ruined my being on a diet. Yay, Charity's back. Yeah, Charity, if you're trying to gain weight, too bad you're not over here because we have a stockpile of Chinese New Year's treats, from pineapple tarts to these little peanut butter yummy things. I don't know what the heck those are, but those are good. And all kinds of other weird snacks. Lots of them. There's some weird truffle flavored potato chips, and I don't like truffles, so that's not for me. Just a ton of stuff in general. Yeah. Before I end up having to cycle even more. The tangerines, not bakwa. We have a small amount of bakwa here all the time. That's Dad's evening snack. I'd rather make my own beef jerky personally. We get this beef that's made for doing the steamboat, where it's already cut really thin and stuff, and then we just douse it with all kinds of hot sauce and just turn it into something amazing. Yeah, Charity, I think she sent you a personal message. You'll probably be the one that's in the message. I think she doesn't like to share it. Yeah, it works out really, really good. And if you add in the right kind of hot sauces, oh man. Oh, it's so good. We have a food dehydrator, so yeah. My wife used it for strawberries, but I like doing beef personally. Wife did strawberries and made it added to a tea, which is pretty cool. I think that's where she gets hers from, i.e., my wife getting the sweetness. I have to admit, it did look kind of cool in the drinks. So yeah, this whole Chinese New Year's thing, man, I keep track of like how many days I like stay under my calorie count, and yeah, I don't think I've been under my calorie count this month. No, well, at least this week. Maybe once this month, but certainly not this week. Yeah, see, look, here we are getting to the end of this row. This string here is already incredibly short. It's probably about 10 inches long. Not quite enough to get it changed yet, but it's going to go in the next set for sure. This blue one, also likewise, too short to continue much longer. The next pass is just going to be so full of changing string. Yeah. I hear you. It's yeah, I don't know what the little peanut butter things are, but yeah, those things will destroy me. They're so good. It's like somebody mixed peanut butter and sugar and baked it into like these little tiny round things that are just of course I can't talk about it without wanting one now. Now I want one. I even tried to be good. I had like an orange after dinner as my little snacky thing. Well, mind you, 56 kilometers on a stationary bike seems like, you know, it should earn me some kind of treats. And to make it worse, it's 56 kilometers and there's a lot of hills, which basically I have to put out way more energy to get the bike over the hill, which doesn't somehow calculate into the overall mileage. I don't know. Yes, but there's supposedly like um some minerals or something to it that's supposed to be good for your blood pressure and stuff. So, yes, I would not want to do oranges in excess, but they're supposed to be kind of good for me. No, they're out of berries that have been weighed. I still have the packets in the freezer, just. So this isn't bad. Finished a whole row here. Well, almost. Still have to add the blue around this, but. Yeah, it's the only way we're gonna actually get through any of this Chinese New Year treat stuff is to kind of use them as snacks here and there, because partially the reason we have so much is we bought some. Then my wife's work keeps having hotels and stuff send us more, you know, wanting to be featured in articles or being nice in general. So yeah, we ended up with a lot. I suppose you give me a couple of those peanut butter. Yeah, last year we ended up, there was a lot at the end that we finally got rid of or whatever. They were no good. Okay, so these are little peanut butter things. I don't know. Can I give you an idea of the size? I have no idea how they make it. I have no idea, other than the fact that it tastes like peanut butter, what's in it. But oh my god, they're so yummy. You can just sit that right over here. Oh, I think they definitely bake peanut butter because it's sort of dry. Yeah, like if we could have like a Mandy cam. Send her out there, take a look at the whole table. Cool. Yeah, we introduce Chinese New Year's snacks to the world, and suddenly we end up with statistics in the news like This just in. It seems that the nodding community has an overweight problem. We have no idea what the connection is. More at 11. Before I go any further, I should actually mention that a special thanks to all my Patreon supporters. They are what has kept the channel going. And tomorrow is our like monthly hangout day where I open up a group chat where everybody can be a part of it or whatever. So yeah, that's yeah. Some people are couch potatoes. I'm just a commentator. Yep, 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 yep. Placing another white string here. Kind of glad to get these ones out of the way. Kind of feel like if I don't get some of the strings replaced before the next row, it's just going to be a madhouse. Probably should do this again for anybody who's tuning in here late. The part of the joy of like actually coming in live is the chance to actually win these bracelets. All 3 pieces are part of the secret word game. All you have to do is simply find that secret word that make the little chat bot go and tell you you won. Although I have to admit, spelling does count. We had the very first one was Rapunzel, and there was a problem with people trying to spell Rapunzel, so that was kind of comical. But I'll tell you this much: this word is not as difficult to spell. So there's hint number 2. Hint 1 has something to do with one of my videos that I've done before, and it won't be difficult to spell. Maybe you should ask the chat bot if anybody's going to win this thing anytime soon. Ooh. Chatbot thinks you guys have it in you. Ask the chatbot if it wants to give a hint. Well, the chatbot thinks you guys can win, but does not want to reveal any hints. So there you have it. So after having replaced the short white one, I put what was left of it in through the hole through the back of this board, so that way it doesn't get confused and stuff. Yeah, seems thinking you guys got it in you. I would think so too. I don't know how many weeks. I should have kept track of that. I wonder how many live sessions we've gone through and nobody's gotten the word yet. It just kind of blows my mind. I know it's been a few though. Of course, it saves me the trouble of having to redo the artwork, because if we have a winner, then I actually have to replace this image, right? So I mean, that's sort of a, what's the incentive for me to give away too many hints if I have to actually do more work? Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, so more than a month. I don't know how many actual streams there were. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. And I made this one easy. Like, seriously easy. When it's finally revealed what it was, everybody's just gonna like do a face palm, seriously. Oh, I hate when that happens. Yeah, big whoopsie doodles. Security still with us? Get quiet. So this yellow is really short. Yeah, I'll take it in the next row. Let's see what's after this one. Yeah. Yeah, I can do it now. It's gotten so quiet. I guess it's kind of cool that people feel like doing knots and stuff while I'm working. I guess that's part of the whole being inspired thing. It's cool. All right, let's see. After this is this. Yes. All right. Well, that is fortunate. Yeah, you wouldn't want to have to go back too far on a project. That's I've scrapped projects in the past for things like that. If you notice, I'm super cautious. I double check different points on here to make sure that I am doing the right square for that portion of the thing, because yeah, going back would be ferocious. Yikes. Yeah, that's I can't tell you how hard I internally just cringed when I read that. Like that's the stuff of nightmares. Like now I'm gonna have to definitely have that hot chocolate and try to calm myself. 20 rows, it was just a story. It's not real. It can't get you. Oh, believe me, I have a few. If we were to have a little campfire chat, I could probably come up with some real doozies. The bracelet maker got up. He only was going off to the toilet for a moment. When he came back, he found the cat was playing with the string. No! Yeah. I handed a bracelet, just got done on a commission job. Handed the bracelet to this gal. She had it in her hand, and then, I don't know, muscle spasm, whatever, dropped the bracelet. The bracelet, before it hit the ground, was picked up by one of her cats, who managed to just chomp a hole right in part of the middle part of the knots. Now, mind you, bracelets don't unravel so easily, so it was still potentially usable, but like a little bit of me died inside right there. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I was just given a pattern somebody wanted me to take a look at, and I have to admit, like, when looking at the pattern itself is sorta cool. It was a pretty wide one, but like there was this weird non-symmetrical part to it that didn't need to be non-symmetrical. It didn't need to be weird or whatever else, but just was, and it just really made me wonder, like, why. So yeah, if I end up doing that project, I'm going to request that I get to make it slightly different, make it slightly better. But yeah, on the plus side, the cat story where the cat attacked the bracelet, I did get recommissioned to do the thing again, and I was paid for the first one. She said it was totally her fault. She dropped it. She felt responsible. So that was sort of okay, I guess. But it was still devastating to see, you know, the amount of work that I put into it lost in just a moment's notice. And we're not talking like a little bracelet. We're talking like a $20 bracelet. So it had a lot of time and effort put into it. And this is back when I was like much younger, so back what I was due for $20 back then was a lot. It was a pretty big size bracelet. Thank you, Charity. That's nice of you. Hopefully my voice doesn't put you to sleep. Yeah, I wonder where all the familiar faces are. It seems we're missing a few people tonight. Yeah, that's That's pretty devastating. Oh, but I can tell you some good stories about bracelets too, though. So, as you may have kind of guessed, before getting into bags and wall hangings, I was doing some pretty large size bracelets, and kind of liked it because there's something about, pretty rewarding about having something that's really big. So I had one that probably that much of my arm, and yeah, it was like a reasonable sized bracelet times 7. Anyways, I'm over at a friend's house and they've got a kitten who has the worst case of fleas I've ever seen on a cat, and they're wanting to give it a bath to, use this kind of soap that gets rid of fleas or whatever. So got it into the bathtub and it leaped up and grabbed onto my arm, and fortunately all of its little tiny nails got into was the bracelet. So I have holding my arm up. Well, here, let's switch to this camera. So I'm holding my arm up like this with a cat hanging from my bracelet, and its nails are actually stuck in there, and it's hanging over top of the water, so it's refusing to let go. So I was just like scrub, 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 dunk, 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 scrub, 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 dunk. Clean the whole cat up. I didn't get a scratch on me. And the bracelet was no worse for wear, so. And I suppose, like, stories of the unhappy endings with the bracelets or whatever, I suppose we kind of need, at least a couple of them, undo a bunch of roll. Yeah. We have to have a few of these kind of stories to kind of make us appreciate our art, and realize that, mistakes can happen and stuff. It's part of the whole growing process, but yeah. Yeah, my whole big problem about the cuff size bracelets was that they don't sell. Like, I have a rainbow one. I've had it for ages. They just don't sell. And I can get it. Like, not too many people want to wear something that big. I get it. Makes sense. But I like bigger projects. I like the feeling of reward when, accomplishing something big. So Amanda, you gonna eventually open up an Etsy shop or something for all of your creations? Can't imagine that why you don't have one already. Oh, that's awesome. Hmm. Another one of those cases where the string is just long enough to not necessarily need to be changed, but it just feels like it's going to be too short before this row is even done. Yeah. Right on. I don't know how well Carousel does with that kind of thing. I had listings, and we didn't do so well. Selling through IG might work. You have a pretty good following, so that might actually work. Although, honestly, I've got a pretty good following on Instagram as well, and I have not had a single person from there say, hey, I think I want, well, at least not to my knowledge, because the way I direct them over to my own website, but it doesn't seem to be Instagram. Who's doing the nagging? What? That's not nice. Me? I'm trying to sell. Oh. That's true. You don't nag. You also help enable me by buying tons of strings. So yeah. Right. I really need to get a Mandy cam. There are times where she's saying something cute or whatever, and it would be cool to be able to pan over to that side of the room. Yeah, that really is a big problem, right? I mean, because there's tons of kids out there who basically don't figure in anything for their time, and whatever. So there's bracelets out there that are stupidly cheap and don't take into account for the cost of materials or effort or anything else. And you make it sound like that's all you ever do is roll your eyes. That's kind of cool. There was a thing at the Yishun Haka Center where they were doing some kind of a interesting, I don't know, like, what do they call it, honey? Huh? An art market. So I rented one of the little booths. I think it cost like $40 or something, which I made that and quite a bit more. Just a little folding table. I put a real pretty sheet across over the top of it and set it all up. If you look in the Instagram, you probably find it somewhere. I know there's some pretty good pictures of it. That was a lot of fun. That was a great way of selling stuff. You just have to find a way of displaying all the bracelets. That's a dodgy prospect, I'm sure. You break it. All right, I need 2 more. Yeah, so I don't really go by the dollar a string thing because I think that's sort of, I don't know, because there's some bracelets that would be like the one I showed you earlier. That would be 10 strings, right? Because it's 5 colors on each side, so it's 10 strings. $10 is a bit much for it. It's a pretty skinny bracelet. When I do the 8-string ones, well, if I do 12 strings, I want $10 for that. But then, like, when I do bigger projects, I base it off that $10 one. Like, how many $10 bracelets could I make with that amount of string? So that's how I kind of do my math. Like my Chinese lanterns, right? My my wife's sister's husband, I don't know how to say that easier. Anyways, he was saying that my my Chinese lanterns I did out of knots were 10 times more than the paper ones that his son had made. Like 10 times? Are you kidding me? That's like 8 bracelets worth. That's like $80. My starting price on that thing would be $80. And I hardly think that your son's paper ones are, you know, a tenth of that. Like $8 for the paper ones? Are you? Ridiculous, right? Yeah. The kid's like what, 6 or 7? Yeah. He's not doing extensively fancy crafts. So yeah, I think I think bro kind of had his mouth drop a little bit when he realized like how much I would actually charge for the thing. And I get it. He's, you know, not the kind of person who would necessarily value the amount of work and effort that goes into such a thing. But yeah. Actually, that's something, Amanda, you should actually take a look at making. I did a video on the Chinese lanterns before. They're kind of neat. And I kind of rather like pulling them out each year. It's just something I hang up. Just kind of make it once and then you can have it forever, basically. And because it's, you know, durable knots and whatever else, you can run them through the washers so they never get too gross looking. Unlike the paper decorations that you don't get to keep. Right, it was just, I had seen ones made out of metal that were shiny and pretty and stuff at MBS, and was like, huh, I wonder if I could do something like that. And lo and behold, yes, I can. Took a little bit of thinking out the logistics and stuff, but yeah. I think the first one I did was like 2 years ago, and then I redid it last year, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so both of them were hung up last year, and then they're back out again this year. It's just a cool, like I said, the two are very different. I use different color strings, both red and gold, but different hues, so I can kind of tell apart the older one from the newer one. Oh, and I chose a pattern that makes a lot of the figure eights in it. I figured if you're gonna make something for the Chinese New Year's, trying to make, you know, auspicious numbers and stuff inside of it was sort of extra cool. I suppose next Chinese New Year's I should try making one even bigger, like double the bracelet width. All right, Charity, have a good night. I'm only going to be around another 25 minutes or so. I'm going to cut this off at midnight. I did a lot of bike riding today, and I'm just kind of a little achy, so you're not going to miss a whole lot. But thanks for hanging out for as long as you have. Have a good night. Yeah, that's relatable. Good night. Alright, so this is here, so this pattern, which is also this pattern. It's nice having you around. It's nice. Glad you made it. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that basically when it comes to certain squares, I try to do it the same way each time. And it's not about string conservation or anything like that. It's about if I do it the same way, I'm less likely to make a mistake. You know, so I've been doing this whole thing for long enough that, you know, obviously I don't look at patterns any longer. But I kind of, you know, found little nuancy ways of doing each one of the squares. For example, this square here, if I get the yellow and then I do the yellow on this side, I can pretty much finish everything else on this side of the cube and then run the white down from the left hand side. You'll see here in a second. But it's kind of a calculative move or whatever, just to kind of make it easier for myself. Right, so here's the yellow. Now I could bring both of the whites to the middle, but instead I do this white here, and it gets interrupted by this red. Then I do the white. But the easy way of doing this, for me at least, is that now I go ahead and do the little diamondy part that comes off. Well, it's not really a diamond. So the blue comes in twice, and then the third time it goes and pushes the yellow back over to the middle. And the orange just comes in and bounces the red back. And then the blue just does the little quick in and out. Orange comes down. And that string so needs to get changed soon. And then it's the blue one. And so now basically everything on this half is complete. So now when I do this white row from the other side, it can come all the way down. And it's just kind of how I came up with a system for that particular square, and it really kind of helps assure, if I always do it the same way, that I'm not less likely to actually do something wrong. So that's how I choose to do it. I don't know. Not saying it's the only way, because I think everybody should develop what makes sense for them, because if it makes sense to you, you're more inclined to remember it. You're more inclined to take it to heart, you know, build little rules for yourself that help make your knotting become easier for you. And this is one of those kind of things that I've done. Let's see, now that whole row over here is done. Now all I have left, that same little boxy thing I did on the other side, I do that again, which will, again, the blue is going to kick the yellow back to the center. So it's easy to spot the hole where you do the thing. Done with the section I was at. Happy Chinese New Year's to you, and hopefully we'll see you again on the 19th. We're off. I don't know if you caught that earlier, but we're off on the 12th. So another little getaway for me and the wife to celebrate birthday / anniversary things. So yeah. And you have a good Chinese New Year's, and hopefully you don't have to set the scale back too far. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of wonder where everybody else is. Kind of definitely got me curious. All right, well, have a good night, and thanks for hanging out as long as you have. I really appreciate it. And to anybody else who's watching this at a later date and you've gotten this far, kudos to you. I hope you're enjoy it. Leave comments. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks to the Patreon supporters for all they've done. You guys have definitely helped made this awesome. I couldn't have done this big project without the financial support, as well as the fact that it helped me buy this camera. So that was a big major upgrade in the quality of the view here, because this is like 1080, and I think the last camera was maybe 720. So yeah, big huge difference. Yeah, I guess honestly I think I'm gonna call it a night as well. So anybody else that's tuning in at a later time, like I said, I'll be off on the 12th, back on the 19th, and definitely appreciate you guys coming by, leave comments, ask questions. Who knows, maybe your question will help inspire me to do something creative, or create a video to help answer it. So that could be kind of cool, right? All right, so yeah, I guess until next time, don't get your string in a bunch.